Good morning, friends. This morning topic is very relevant for every one of us. I am going to talk about the development, education, and all round development of adolescents. Friends, the period between 10 to 19 is known as adolescent period. The teenagers, particularly in the age group of 10 to 19, are hyperactive and have a rapid emotional and physical development. This is a period where, this is a period of development when young people acquire new capacities and are faced with new challenges. So, adolescents acquire new capacities and are faced with challenges. In India, the development among the adolescents has to be taken into account both by the parents as well as by the teachers. They need to be taken care of, particularly of their emotional development along with their physical development in order to nurture them to productive citizens. Friends, when these people acquire the age of 11 to 19, there is a rapid development of their emotion, their physical, the physical yeah, structure, and there is a psychological development also. They are in a they are in a situation or a stage which enables them to go for egos and leads to some level of superiority complex and inferiority complex as well, with greater risk of logical and critical thinking and problem solving. They are involved in establishing social identity. It is not only the time of opportunity but also of vulnerability to the risk behavior which can have lifelong consequences. Friends, there is no denying the fact that adolescents undergo a lot of psychological changes. They undergo a lot of emotions at that stage. They need to be taken care of. There is a risk of behavioral changes that has to be balanced with their academics. Adolescents are a demographic force. More than 22% of India's population is in adolescence group. Therefore, friends, it is the duty and role of the schools to take care of their, all-round development. Particularly, uh, they have to be taken into consideration for economic force as well as their contribution significantly to the growth of the nation. Their families particularly have to be very vigilant about their behavior changes and their emotional outburst, because sometimes these adolescents undergo emotional outburst. Their emotions have to be taken into account by the parents and very delicately to be handled. Sometimes they show disagreement to the suggestions and instructions given by the parents and the teachers. So at that time, the parents are advised not to, be very, very strict and firm, because that is the period when they seek a balanced relationship with other adults as well as their peer group. So a very, meticulous observation is needed for their behavior changes. Actually, adolescents are a resource to the nation. They are to be nurtured, trained, and developed into productive citizens so that they can be asset to the nation. They have the right to be safe and supportive environment, to accurate and age appropriate information, to guidance to develop their skill building, and also to define their role in the society. What happens actually, we often ignore their emotions, their you know demands, and often we call them and ask them to bother about studies. But we should understand that besides the studies, they are also undergoing emotional changes because of their body change. particularly among the girls. The puberty period starts when there is a hyper emotion among the girls. The mothers of the such girls have to take up the responsibility to make them understand of these behavioral changes due to poverty and other emotional and physical changes. The teachers, particularly the women teachers working in schools, have to take care of their specific needs, and interactions with the parents and teacher is badly needed. So the adolescents have the right to participate in all matters affecting their health, their physical health, their mental health, and unless and until they attain the maturity, they have to be taken care of. In order to prepare these young people for life and work in a rapidly changing world, education and training system need to be changed. Earlier, what happened that in co-education, and there was no talk related to adolescents problems, particularly the change in body and the change in mind, the mindset, the emotional outburst, the behavioral changes. They were not taken very seriously into schools and colleges. But now the subject, where even the children are made aware of the different emotional changes, the different thinking, the different psychological changes, and the workshops are organized to resolve the issues, the confusion that they are undergoing. So in order to prepare these young adolescents for a better, life and better skill, the schools and colleges need to prepare them, specifically giving them education related to sex, emotional outbursts, and other behavioral changes, because this is the time when the youth are vulnerable to take risk and go into wrong direction. So it is the duty of the parents and teachers to guide them and make them aware of these changes, and we have to make them believe that these are the natural changes in their body and in their mind, and that is the result of their age. So they should not take it as strangely and not become vulnerable. Rather, they should understand that their physical changes, the body changes, lead to such emotional outbursts. So they have to handle this along with their academics, because unless and until the parents and the teachers take care of this, their emotional changes, their psychological changes, then their academics will hamper. So we have to give them training, and we have to provide them reorientation to create an impact on their social life, and give them acknowledgement. We have to acknowledge their feelings, their emotions, and we have to give due importance to their arguments. We should not ignore them. Rather, we should give them importance, and we should explain to the situation. Sometimes what happens that parents do not want to talk to the adolescents regarding their confusion due to the emotional and psychological changes. So the mothers are advised to talk to their daughters and make them understand that this is the period when they are having their body changes, their emotional outbursts, their psychological changes, and the parents have to really make the children understand. And in order to prepare them for a better life, we have to constantly interact with them, give them counseling, and guide them. And in order to enhance their range of life skill, we have to monitor their development, particularly the academic development, emotional development, and social development. This will enable them to lead a better life and manifest their inner potential with confidence and comply with the social and national need of the time. And that is what I wanted to emphasize upon. So we have to be very, very vigilant towards the all round changes among the adolescents and their demand to cope up with those challenges and to prepare themselves for a better tomorrow. And that is what I wanted to emphasize upon. Thank you. Have a nice day.